Hello, Professor. My name is Laura Mora, and today I will be talking to you about the test that I designed, the oral test that I designed for third grade students of a public school. Um, the first thing that I want to talk to you about is the school. This is a public school located in Santiago, Puriscal. There are 127 students, and the class that I chose, which is a class for third graders, they are 19 students. According to their teacher, their English level, due to their background, is about medium to low. So it's not, they don't have a very good English level. Okay, the second thing that I want to talk to you about is the table of specifications. I sent you the file attached to the test and the answer sheet. Okay, in the TOS you will find certain information that is necessary to um, have and to provide validity and transparency and to back up and support what you're doing when you are applying or evaluating a student. Okay, so here you will find the description of the type of test that is being evaluated. In this particular case, this would be an oral test, and the focus is listening and speaking. This would be a 20% test, 50 points for the test. The study block that I chose was my school community, and five specific objectives were set um, for this particular test. My goal is to evaluate if the students are able to understand, to produce, to identify, and to participate within all the activities that are being performed or that will be performed throughout the test. Um, for this, I created a multiple choice item that is supposed to or was constructed in a way that it will allow me to evaluate students in an objective way. Attached to it, again, you will find the answer sheet for this specific item, and also production items. Um, this will allow me to evaluate the students in a subjective way, as I'm being exposed to um, their own way to convey meaning and to react to every given situation. And finally, the actual test. Okay, this will have information. The first part, the first page of the test will have information about the school name, the school teacher that is evaluating the students, the type of test that they are taking, the time allowed, the amount of points, the percentage, and also enough space for their parents to sign and for the students to write their name and date. Below that, the students will find the general instructions for the test. For every part of the test, I use the same type of letter, the same size, and when I wanted to get attention for certain words, I used bold letters to capture or to obtain that attention, not only for students, but eventually also for me or someone else who may be going through the test. Also, next to each one of the instructions, you will see pictures that relates to or that provides meaning to the instruction, as the students in third grade are not allowed or supposed to read and write. Again, I used pictures and letters equally as far as size and in the structure of the picture itself, to avoid distractions and to try not to clutter the test with a whole bunch of different items that may get the students either confused or distracted. This, I guess, it was created with the aim of adding or providing transparency throughout the test. Okay, well, let's go to the test now. Again, my goal was to create something interactive, something that will allow me to understand the students' progress and their difficulties to possibly find early solutions. Um, in my opinion, this I will apply the concept of usefulness with the whole background and the whole description that I'm providing regarding this. Okay, now the first item is multiple choice. Okay, this was made in a way that it will allow me to know if the students understand um, real or true meaning. The vocabulary was taken from exercises that were previously worked in class, and also they are familiar with exercises where they have pictures in. So that means that they are not working with neither vocabulary of a type of exercise that they've never done before. This is a way to cover the cornerstone of validity, and also prove that students should be able to perform this type of exercises in any given situation, as is something that they are supposed to be familiarized throughout vocabulary practice and exercise practice that they did before or that they have been performing throughout the classes. The multiple choice item offers the students three different pictures for which they need to select one by drawing an X inside the parentheses. The size of the items is the same throughout the whole test, and there is enough space between each one so they will not get it all wrong. There's no way that they can jump to the next one just skip one, because the items were made in a size and in a way also that they should be able to follow as they are being requested or required to. Okay, now the second part would be the first item of production. Okay, here the students will pick one picture and they will produce 5 sentences based or using that picture. Okay, for this item I chose at least 30 pictures. So that means that they can pick one or even two. They can create their sentences and the other students won't be repeating the same things that they were saying, as they will all have different color pictures. Again, vocabulary and pictures are based on previous exercises. This will be to evaluate the part of the unit called Games, Arts, and Sports. So they have plenty pictures to where they are able to choose from. Um, Also, this part of the test, for this part of the test, I will also have a scale that will allow me to evaluate students based on what they are being able to create or to produce. Um, I, I, that means that I'm being able to record what they are um, producing and to evaluate it. This for future reference and also for their students or their parents to check for after. Um, the lowest scale or the lowest score that they will get would be a 1, as according to MAP specifications they are not allowed to get a 0. Okay, now the next exercise will be the second item of production. Um, this time students will receive 5 little cards. They can choose from a pile 5 little cards, and they contain five different. Each one will contain a different time of the day. Using that time of the day that they chose, they will have to create a sentence. Again, this type of exercise was also um, the sentences were also created before in class, so students know how to construct a sentence using the time. Like today is now 7:15 o'clock in the morning, or 7:15 in the morning, or I go to school at 7 a.m. or 7 o'clock, or I have to be at English class at 10 a.m. or 10:15. So this is all vocabulary that they should know from previous classes. And after they create the sentence, again, I will have a little scale that will allow me to score or rate the sentence that they were able to produce. And I will stick the card to their test so they can take it home after I give the test back to them. Okay, now evaluating, creating, and taking an oral test takes a lot of time prior and during and after once you are scoring the test. The ideal situation would be that prior of evaluating the students, the teacher should have had enough time to provide them with many different exercises, many different scenarios and situations, so that if they are um, they will feel comfortable whether they are creating a sentence, or writing a sentence, or reading a sentence, depending on the situation or the type of exercise. Um, that means that prior to it, they need to be exposed to vocabulary, practice, um, in different situations so that they will perform well when taking the test. What I liked about the items or exercises that I selected is that um, it, they are interactive. This type of exercise you can share with other teachers, um, and you should be able to even use them for future exercises or evaluations, not only for a specific test, but you can use it at any time in class as a part of an exercise that they can work on. And of course, after applying the test, the TOS and the scale will allow you to monitor or to understand if indeed that item that you selected provided what you were looking for, and allow you to um, fulfill the objectives that you were trying to, in order to make sure that this student is understanding and learning, which is the main purpose of it. I believe that this uses the communicative language teaching approach, as it develops communicative competence. I'm sorry, competence, and the items evoke situations related to the real life, or that may be used in real life. Also, the students are the students are given or can use or were using prior to the test real items. They were supposed to be trained or teach on using a real toy clock or real clock for the schedules or times of the day exercise. Um, they were supposed to be exposed to different type of games, arts, and sports that they should be familiar with or that are related to their community or they have been learning about before. So it's something that they can apply in real life and real events and situations. The other thing is that even though you are telling the students what to do, they are being directed on what to do. At the end, they are the ones who are producing and understanding and listening to what you are um, telling them. So ultimately, they are creating content, which it was or is supposed to be the main goal of these type of tests. Okay, so I am. This is it for my test and for my description of it. I am really looking forward to hear your feedback, your comments. I think I really need all that. And so thank you for listening, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.